Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of an odd one. We're going to do a little bench review, bench view. There's a few people done this, and they've shared their bench cave, whatever. And I thought it was about time I'd done the same. Like now I'm in a bigger area and things have settled down somewhat, and I wanted to show where I'm at. So, without further ado, we'll flip the camera around, or we will pause it and do that. Can we do that? No, that takes a photo. We're off, laddie. I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to flip it. So it turns out you actually have to stop the video, turn the camera around, and then restart it. So what have we got? Well, this is my bench view. So this is where I sit. This is where I join hangouts. This is where I do my modelling and research and pretty much everything else. So we're in the middle of a build at the moment. I'm building the German motorsport car, and so we're sort of halfway through this build. As you can see, you've got the engine and bits and pieces in. There's the bodywork there, the back end of the bodywork. We've got a nice finish on that. It's not had a top coat or anything yet. We've got a few ideas for projects. This is an old kit that I'm thinking of destroying for another Dio. I always have a pen nearby. This was bought for me for my 40th birthday by my daughter. I love nice pens. I don't know why. Always have. The most expensive pen I own would be this Parker Sonnet pen. Let's just say it's expensive. It needs repairing at the moment. It has 22 karat gold nib and 22 karat gold trim. It's a beautiful pen to write with, but I've had it a long time, and the ink system needs repairing in it, so the seals have gone, sadly. But yeah, I'm one of these. I like a nice pen. So moving round, we've got my little station that holds my brushes. I've got a lot more brushes, but the brushes I tend to put here are the ones I use the most, my favourite ones, and also any metallic pens, pencils, photo etch pickup tools, things like that. They all go in here. They're currently the ones I use the most for detailing, followed by the Airfix detail set. Then we've got some set of metallic pens there. We've got white, silver, gold, brown. I think there might be a green in there as well. A big brush for dusting stuff. And that's that. We've got the little stand I use sometimes for putting this camera on. This is for my phone, and also a smartwatch, which is I'm selling. I bought it, and it's not very good, so I'm selling it. It's not me. And there we go. So that's my setup for my various. So I've got a Manfrotto tripod. And then off of that I've got my Vario digicam thing with onboard HD, and that runs through to my laptop, and it's got a reversible screen so that I can see what's going on. There we go, and that's telling me there's obviously the door shut. There we go, that gives me that picture. Then I've temporarily jerry-rigged the webcam up to look down so that I can do live shows for my live shows, which are starting this Wednesday and every Wednesday from 8:30. And at the moment we are building a Spitfire Mark 1, which is about somewhere. I've got to get that sorted ready for Wednesday. Then we've got my sanders. Obviously I use UMP sanders. In my opinion, they're the best you can get. Buy them at umpretail.com. I highly recommend buying the beginners. It's not called the beginners bag. It's called the beginners multi-pack starter kit. It might be that. You have a look on umpretail.com, and they do a starter pack, and you get a buffer. All the sanders you need, basically. So I'd recommend buying one of those, and also getting the Thinny Stick starter pack. You buy them two and you're off to a good start. Then from there you can decide which ones you use the most, and then go back and put your order in that way. Or you can buy the mega pack. So then we go further around. I've got a spare roll of kitchen roll, an old, that's my old money box from when I was about 7. We were up in the Lake District and I had some pocket money, and I went in a shop and bought that. I think I paid about £2.50 for it, which was a lot back then. And it's been with me ever since. It's the only thing I've got left from back then, and it's with me all the time. And then there's the little Yorkie there that my partner bought for me, because I love Yorkies. We've got Yorkie, Daniel his name is. The compressor in the back, it's not a brilliant one, but it's the one that I could afford, and it does its job now. And then we've got a whole load of clips. You can buy these off eBay. They're very cheap. I think about something like £4 or £5 for a pack of 50. They come with these ends off, and then you just basically get a load of cocktail skewers, and you have to add these bits on the end. I normally put a bit of PVA glue and then slot it in. In hindsight, you're better off chopping it down. These are far too long. They all need cutting back, which I should have done at the beginning. And then moving round, we've got they're my lens magnification lenses for my headset, which is back here, which I sometimes use for close-up work. Then we've got an old dishwasher tin, which you use for putting cutlery in, and I've converted it for, obviously, I've got these out of Lidl. They're a long pair of smooth-jawed needle nose pliers, and they are excellent for photo etch bending. They are huge. Then I've got my Xuron PE cutters, which are great for cutting PE, as the name suggests. You've got quite a sharp point, and they're long and thin, excellent for that. Followed by the all-important plastic cutters, the Xuron ones, which also are rather excellent for using. These are great, one of the best buys I ever made. Then we've got selections of tweezers. Some of them are there, some are missing, they're out somewhere, out and about. I'm sure I'll probably see them if I look for long enough. And then we've got one of my newer purchases, which is the oil brusher set. And to be honest, I haven't used it yet. I anticipated I was going to use it a lot, but I haven't really used it yet. That's not to say I won't use it. I'm sure I will. I just need to bit of practice with it and decide where I'm going with that. So, you know, that will come up in future videos when I do use it. Bottle of Ultimate Airbrush Cleaner, valuable stuff, invaluable I mean. And my newest purchase is this Master Tools paint mixer. Absolutely fantastic. If there was one tool that I could say to you would sound like a complete waste of money, it would be this. It sounds as though it's a complete waste of money. Why the hell do you need a paint mixer? You can just shake it. Well, I defy you to buy this. Go out and buy this, and then after you've used it for a couple of weeks, say, I don't need this anymore, and give it away. It is a brilliant piece of equipment. Well worth buying. I think I paid 10 quid for that. So that was well worth, really was a good buy. And then coming back round, we've got a selection of knives I use. I've got many different types. There's just the two that are out at the moment, but there are others knocking about. There's a couple of pieces in some blue tack, and a couple of Tamiya jars out. And then what I've done is, because just a quick tip here while we're doing this, on these colours, for example, if we say F or H in the colours. So the colour call out for H is 95% silky black and 5% steel metallic. So what you do is you find yourself these little medicine cups. You can get them offline, they're very cheap. These, you put your mixture in, your 95% and your 5%, you put any appropriate thinner in, you then get your paint mixer and whisk it up all together. Then on the lid, write down your code for it so that you know what it is. Put the lid on. You can shake this up, it won't leak out. Just keep your fingers on the top, obviously, and it will stay in there for a few weeks. I think is the longest I've kept one in there. So there's a quick tip for you. Then, so moving round, there's my daylight. I have got a new lamp coming, and then up there we've got all my glues on the shelf, and then we've got my equivalent of a Dremel. I don't use it much because it's a bit too vicious for the plastic. It sort of tears through. It's very fast, even on its slowest speed, but I do use it for other things. It has come in handy a couple of times, because I use the extension that comes off it at the end there. That's the actual drill piece itself, and then you can add this extension on it on the end there like that, and that slows it down a bit more. And yeah, I've used it for quite a few things actually, not just model related either. So you know, that's the main bench. I think that's about all I can cover on the main bench. Oh, we missed the spray booth. How can we miss the blinking spray booth? It's like quarter of the bench. So there's my spray booth. It's a simple setup. Pipe just stick it out the window, and then turn it on and start spraying. Obviously I empty everything out before I do, and that's what I use for that. And there's my spray brush there, and a little voice, which I don't think I've ever used, that little voice. No I haven't, but it's there. Then we come round to my laptop, which is an Acer Aspire E15. Not the best purchase I've ever made, I will say. A little bit underpowered. I just couldn't get what I wanted for the money I had, and this was the best deal, and it's let me down a bit. It's a bit slow. It struggles to keep up. That's its main problem. But there you go. You know, I've got what I've got. I've got to just get on with it. But yeah, that would be my biggest gripe, I guess, with would be the laptop struggles to keep up, and at times it just has a mind of its own. So then we come round and we've got the big storage area at the back of the room, which is 180 degrees round from where I'm sitting. So looking through the shelves, we've got some work wipes there, some spare thinner, spare airbrush cleaner, spare cotton buds, Tamiya spray cans, some varnish, Windolene, PVA. The Windolene is not for use on any airbrush cleaner or anything like that. The Windolene is used for cleaning windows and cleaning the glass on the computer. So no, it's not there for anything else. Before everyone runs off and starts mixing Windolene with corn flour and bleach to make their own new improved wash or whatever, don't do that. Then coming up, we've got the main shelf. We've got some Vallejo primer there. We've got the grey, which I get on great with. The white, I'm not very keen on the white. And the black I think actually works very well. I've had no problems with it at all, and I think it's a very good primer, the black Vallejo. Then we come on to the Ultimate Primer. Now then, so Ultimate Primer, this is the newest one I've got. Oxide, absolutely fantastic. It is without a doubt my favourite primer, and I've just found out that they're actually the people that make this are stopping doing this colour. A tragic loss, really. It's a great colour to put on underneath paints to have that rust effect. Yeah, it's very sad that they're stopping doing that, but that's it. And then I've got the grey, which is superb. The grey UMP is better than the Vallejo grey, I will say that. And then we've got their black, and this is the gloss black. And the gloss black is better than the Vallejo black by a long shot. Now, let me just go back to what I said about this black. This black, I still say, is very good, but this is just black matte. So then I'm not competing the two together. This is black gloss. So bear that in mind. And then we've got the olive, which I've yet to try, but I love the colour. I love it. Needs a shake. Look, we've got the pigment settling at the bottom, but I'll give that a good shake. Then we've got the washes, which I've not used. I've not used the algae. This is one of their new ones. I will. That needs a good shake. They've all been sat on there for ages. And then we've got the sand, and at the back we've got dark dirt. I have used the dark dirt, highly recommend it, well worth buying. Then I've got the smaller primers. I didn't go through them, and basically we've got a white, which is much better than the Vallejo white, and we've got a grey, which obviously again is better than the Vallejo if you want to compare the two. Moving along, we've got some Citadel paints. These are new paints that I'm just starting to accumulate, and we've got Auric Armour Gold there, and Retributor Armour, and we've got a few more of the Citadel range in there. So they're a new range I'm just getting in. I'm just starting to do figures. So we'll look at doing that. At the back we've got some drawers. They've got decals and things like that in. Brush restorer, old pieces of PE and stuff like that. Then at the back there, white spirits, more thinners, and just general pieces, bits and pieces back there. Coming back to the front, we've got a MIG range of weathering pigments. These were kindly given to me by Sam McCord. Thank you, Sam. And I've had good use for them on a couple of occasions now. They're very good. I highly rate them. I like MIG stuff, and it's very good. We got some Revell Decal Soft, which I love. This stuff's really good, I think. But in contrast to that, we've got this Revell Contactor Liquid Special, which is a glue. Awful stuff. Don't like it one little bit. I don't even know why I'm keeping hold of it, but there you go. Then we've got some Humbrol washes, which I actually think are pretty good. Dark brown, I've got Dust, dark grey wash. Then we've got, what have we got here? We've got some enamel thinners, Marscal solution, which stinks, Clear Fix, which is handy for canopies and such. Then we've got Gloss Coat. I haven't tried that. I've yet to try that. Or is that Gloss Coat over there? Is that Matte Coat? Well, the bottle says it all. Look at that. And that is actually pretty much how your finish will dry. It'll have a misty look on it, which can ruin your kit. Liquid poly cement, some more cement, and some more enamel thinners. Then we got one of my favourite paint sets, the MRPs. I love these, and I want to get some more of these. They're just a bit too expensive at the moment, but oh yeah, these are amazing. They come with a little shaky ball inside, and I am a huge fan of MRP. Power burnt metal. I've got a lot of the exhaust stuff is in here, exhaust metal, and then I've got steel, and then I've got a violet effect somewhere. There's burnt iron, violet, super clear, pale burnt metal, burnt metal blue, and burnt metal violet I've also got. I know that's the other one. More AK stuff, more AK weathering products. So I'm not going to go through them all. There's black, it's exhaust wash, wet effect fluid earth, there's dark earth, there's slime, there's that smoke pigments, slimy grime light, slimy grime dark, burnt jet engine, lots and lots of different styles and types of powders. Then I've got my only bottle of zero paints. I want to get some more of these. I'm very hesitant because of they're quite dangerous to animals and people that have got asthma. My son has asthma, so I have to be extremely careful with what I do with these. I love the colour of it. I love they give a fantastic effect. They spray on well, I'm told, and yeah, that's something I want to get in the future, but I've got to look into that. We've got some more primer there. I've never tried it. I was given it to try and just never got round to it, and that's AK, so that should be over there really. Then we've got the Vallejo metals range. These are fantastic. These, you can paint these on with a brush. They're brilliant. The only thing is, I tended to take the cap off, and I would take the cap off, put the cap upside down, and dip the brush in the cap, in the paint, and then paint it, and then put this on. Unbeknown to me, while I'm doing that, this stuff in here is going, is setting. So now a lot of these have got little lumps of dried paint in. No longer any good whatsoever for airbrushing. So what I have to do is try and filter a little bit into a container or little lid or something so that I can paint with it. I can only do small areas, but we get, you know, I will get them replaced. We've got the Micro Set, the Micro Sol, and the Crystal Clear. Crystal Clear, fantastic. You can use it to put in dials and that to give you that glass look. Really second to none. Micro Set, underwhelmed with it would be my best way of saying that. I'm not sure whether it does anything more than plain water, to be honest, but I've not had a great experience with that. This works better. Micro Sol works better, but I'm still not getting results other people are getting. So I did buy these second hand. I need to see whether I've been given a weak solution or something. I don't know. Look into that in the future. Then we've got my glosses and top coats. So we've got the Old Clad Aqua Gloss. It's brilliant stuff. Love this stuff. It's great. Do not shake it. Whatever you do, you do not shake it at all. Even before you use it, especially don't shake it. Then we've got this stuff. Now I'd be very wary over this. I have used it. And the only situation that I think I would use this in is at the end of a build. If you want to satin finish and you've got nothing else to put on, no more weathering to do, no more anything to do, then you could put this on as a last coat and you would be okay. If you put this on before then, no matter how long you leave it, if you then come back to do something, add a little bit of weathering, it will immediately start to become tacky again, and you will end up with pulling your hair out over it. So I know this is fact. I've had this happen to me, so that's my recommendation on that. It's good stuff, but only. Then we come to Gauzy. Brilliant stuff. I've used it quite a lot and I love it. And you know, sometimes I do think that there's got to be some connection between Gauzy and Aqua Gloss. There is such the results are so similar. They're really good and consistent. The same with Aqua Gloss. And you can see if you shake this one up, it feels a froth. Takes hours now for that to settle, which is why you're probably not supposed to shake that. Then we've got my Aqua Colour Mix, and we've also got my Gauzy Canopy Fix or Glass Coat, which is again more of this same solution, which you just dip your canopy in. And then my favourite item for painting and spraying, Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner. This stuff is, it's like angel tears. I can't think of any appropriate way of explaining it. I mix it with Tamiya paint, I mix it with Mr. Guns or Mr. Colour paint, a couple of drops of this in the lid of a Tamiya thing and you're good to go. You're good to paint. It's fantastic. Anyone that's painted with Tamiya will be able to tell you that it's a pig to paint with. It dries ever so quick and it clogs on the brush. It's awful. Shake your bottle, 2 drops of this in your Tamiya cap, and use the paint in the cap to mix it up, and you will get fantastic results. I guarantee it. You can't fail. And you know, you need a mask and everything on when you're using this, because obviously it's got quite a strong vapor. Very good. Then we come up to the new music shelf, which is only just, it's not actually all plugged in and set up yet, but that is the music shelf. And then we've got, this would be what you would call my stash. It's only small. There's a few more kits upstairs, but generally that's it. I'm happy with it. I don't need to have a big stash. That's not a dig at anyone that's got a big stash. You know, that's great for them. This is good for me. I'm happy with that. I've got some lovely kits in there to build, and I'm going to enjoy working on them. So then we come down and we move around. We've got another couple of kits there that have been done. My paints, some of my paints. Now, I recently sold all my Vallejo, all my AK paints, so that I could concentrate solely on 3 brands: Revell, Tamiya and Mr. Guns, Mr. Colour, Mr. Hobby. I think Mr. Hobby, Mr. Colour, they're all the same people. I'm not sure. If they're not, then it's probably 4 brands technically. But there we go. I've started labelling them up. I've tried to keep them in order on there, but obviously this only goes up to 9, 36, 45, 54. And obviously some of them are like 311 or whatever. So slowly building them back up. We're getting there. We're getting there. I got a little drinks trolley that I commandeered. Somebody threw one out the back, and I went out and grabbed it. It's just got a few boxes on, an ultra. Now is it ultrasound? No, ultrasonic cleaner. Speaker, and then my soldering iron. And then we've got this. This was one of my first buys when I went into modelling. I walked past the charity shop and there was this old dental trolley stuck outside with a £5 ticket on it. I grabbed it. And there's a spaceship that I'm trying to... I was going to see whether Dan wanted that, but he hasn't got back to me, so I guess he doesn't. We'll probably throw that out then. And then we've got, oh, just a clip. This is my apron. This was kindly made for me by David Mazzola's wife. I cannot remember her name, I'm so sorry. Beautiful, beautiful apron with pockets in. And I use this when I'm painting or anything messy. I use that. Sometimes I forget to put it on. But I wear it when I need to. And you know, I think we've done full circle, and we're back round at the front. So that's about it really. I hope you've enjoyed the bench tour. It's been a lot longer than I thought it would be. A lot more explaining to do than I was expecting. I thought I'd just whiz round and do it in 5 minutes, but I've had to use 3 10-minute slots to make it, which means I've now got to spend 50 minutes trying to stick them all together. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget, live show Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. UK GMT time. I hope to see you there, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye for now.